Exit.
Go, Lovell, with all speed to Dr. Shaw. Go thou
To Catesby.
to Friar Pinker. Bid them both meet me within this hour at Baynard's Castle.
Exeunt Lovell and Catesby.
Now will I in to take some privy order to draw the brats of Clarence out of sight, and to give order that no manner person have any time recourse unto the princes.
Exit. Scene 6. London. A street. Enter a scrivener.
Here is the indictment of the good Lord Hastings, which in a set hand fairly is engrossed, that it may be to-day read o'er in Paul's. And mark how well the sequel hangs together. 11 hours I have spent to write it over, for yesternight by Catesby was it sent me. The precedent was full as long a-doing, and yet within these 5 hours Hastings lived, untainted, unexamined, free, at liberty. Here's a good world the while. Who is so gross that cannot see this palpable device? Yet who so bold but says he sees it not? Bad is the world, and all will come to naught, when such ill dealing must be seen in thought.
Exit. Scene 7. London. Court of Baynard's Castle. Enter Gloucester and Buckingham, meeting.
How now, how now? What say the citizens?
Now, by the Holy Mother of our Lord, the citizens are mum. Say not a word.
Touched you the bastardy of Edward's children?
I did, with his contract with Lady Lucy, and his contract by deputy in France, the insatiate greediness of his desires, and his enforcement of the city wives, his tyranny for trifles, his own bastardy, as being got your father then in France, and his resemblance, being not like the Duke, withal I did infer your lineaments, being the right idea of your father, both in your form and nobleness of mind, laid open all your victories in Scotland, your discipline in war, wisdom in peace, your bounty, virtue, fair humility, indeed left nothing fitting for your purpose untouched or slightly handled in discourse. And when mine oratory drew toward end, I bid them that did love their country's good cry, God save Richard, England's royal king.
And did they so?
No, so God help me, they spake not a word, but like dumb statues or breathing stones, stared each on other and looked deadly pale. Which when I saw, I reprehended them, and asked the mayor what meant this wilful silence. His answer was, the people were not used to be spoke to but by the recorder. Then he was urged to tell my tale again. Thus saith the Duke, thus hath the Duke inferred, but nothing spoke in warrant from himself. When he had done, some followers of mine own, at lower end of the hall, hurled up their caps, and some 10 voices cried, God save King Richard. And thus I took the vantage of those few. Thanks, gentle citizens and friends, quoth I. This general applause and cheerful shout argues your wisdoms and your love to Richard. And even here brake off and came away.
What tongueless blocks were they? Would they not speak? Will not the mayor then and his brethren come?
The mayor is here at hand. Intend some fear. Be not you spoke with, but by mighty suit. And look you get a prayer book in your hand. And stand between 2 churchmen, good my lord. For on that ground I'll make a holy descant, and be not easily won to our requests. Play the maid's part, still answer nay, and take it.
I go. And if you plead as well for them as I can say nay to thee for myself, no doubt we bring it to a happy issue.
Go, go, up to the leads. The Lord Mayor knocks.
Exit Gloucester. Enter the Lord Mayor, aldermen, and citizens.
Welcome, my lord. I dance attendance here. I think the Duke will not be spoke withal.
Enter from the castle Catesby.
Now, Catesby, what says your lord to my request?
He doth entreat your grace, my noble lord, to visit him to-morrow or next day. He is within with two right reverend fathers divinely bent to meditation, and in no worldly suit would he be moved to draw him from his holy exercise.
Return, good Catesby, to the gracious Duke. Tell him myself, the mayor, and aldermen, in deep designs, in matter of great moment, no less importing than our general good, are come to have some conference with his grace.
I'll signify so much unto him straight.
Exit.
Aha, my lord, this prince is not an Edward. He is not lolling on a lewd day-bed, but on his knees at meditation, not dallying with a brace of courtesans, but meditating with two deep divines, not sleeping to engross his idle body, but praying to enrich his watchful soul. Happy were England would this virtuous prince take on his grace the sovereignty thereof. But sure, I fear, we shall not win him to it.
Marry, God defend his grace should say us nay.
I fear he will. Here Catesby comes again.
Re-enter Catesby.
Now, Catesby, what says his grace?
He wonders to what end you have assembled such troops of citizens to come to him. His grace not being warned thereof before, he fears, my lord, you mean no good to him.
Sorry I am my noble cousin should suspect me, that I mean no good to him. By heaven, we come to him in perfect love, and so once more return and tell his grace.
Exit Catesby.
When holy and devout religious men are at their beads, 'tis much to draw them thence. So sweet is zealous contemplation.
Enter Gloucester in a gallery above, between two bishops. Catesby returns.
See where his grace stands tween two clergymen.
Two props of virtue for a Christian prince, to stay him from the fall of vanity, and see a book of prayer in his hand. True ornaments to know a holy man. Famous Plantagenet, most gracious prince, lend favourable ear to our requests, and pardon us the interruption of thy devotion and right Christian zeal.
My lord, there needs no such apology. I rather do beseech you pardon me, who, earnest in the service of my God, deferred the visitation of my friends. But leaving this, what is your grace's pleasure?
Even that, I hope, which pleaseth God above, and all good men of this ungoverned isle.
I do suspect I have done some offence that seems disgracious in the city's eye, and that you come to reprehend my ignorance.
You have, my lord. Would it might please your grace on our entreaties to amend your fault.
Else wherefore breathe I in a Christian land?
Know then, it is your fault that you resign the supreme seat, the throne majestical, the sceptred office of your ancestors, your state of fortune, and your due of birth, the lineal glory of your royal house, to the corruption of a blemished stock, whilst in the mildness of your sleepy thoughts, which here we waken to our country's good, the noble isle doth want her proper limbs, her face defaced with scars of infamy, her royal stock graft with ignoble plants, and almost shouldered in the swallowing gulf of dark forgetfulness and deep oblivion; which to recure, we heartily solicit your gracious self to take on you the charge and kingly government of this your land, not as protector, steward, substitute, or lowly factor for another's gain, but as successively, from blood to blood, your right of birth, your empery, your own. For this, consorted with the citizens, your very worshipful and loving friends, and, by their vehement instigation, in this just cause come I to move your grace.
I cannot tell if to depart in silence, or bitterly to speak in your reproof, best fitteth my degree or your condition. If not to answer, you might happily think tongue-tied ambition, not replying, yielded to bear the golden yoke of sovereignty which fondly you would here impose on me. If to reprove you for this suit of yours, so seasoned with your faithful love to me, then on the other side I checked my friends. Therefore, to speak and to avoid the first, and then in speaking not to incur the last, Definitively thus I answer you. Your love deserves my thanks, but my desert